The big story we're tracking this Thursday afternoon, several people have been killed and many are believed to be trapped under the debris of an under-construction flyover, the Vivekanand Bridge that collapsed in Kolkata around noon today. Massive search and rescue operations are underway in the capital of West Bengal. 2 NDRF teams comprising of 70 members has reached the spot. Even the army has been called in to rescue trapped victims. NDRF DG has briefed Home Minister Rajnath Singh about latest developments. While speaking to the media, the DG of the NDRF said that about 100 meters of the Vivekanand Bridge has collapsed. The incident took place near Ganesh Talkies in Girish Park, near the busy Bada Bazar area of Kolkata. The foundation of Vivekanand flyover was laid in 2007 and it was supposed to have been completed within 18 months, but it missed 9 deadlines since 2009. Locals had also protested against the construction in 2009, alleging that the design of the flyover was faulty. Meanwhile, cutting short her visit to West Midnapur, Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, who was campaigning there, rushed back to the city to visit the bridge collapse site. Let's get now out from Boria Majumdar, who's with us live from our newsroom. Boria, in fact, has a house close to this accident site. Boria, describe to us the area that we're talking about. We're being told it's close to Bada Bazar and in the old part of the city, narrow streets, cluster of buildings and lots of hawkers on the streets, heavy traffic jams.
Absolutely, Simi. In fact, it's about 5 minutes from where I live in North Kolkata. It's very, very North Kolkata, which is about 150 odd years old. So, and the streets on both sides, there's practically no room for maneuver. On both sides, there are street stalls, vendors, hawkers, and the rescue operations will be very badly hit as a result. And under the flyover, people used to live. Families used to live there, cars and buses and other commute vehicles would be parked there overnight because there's no parking zone in that area because of the congestion. So all of these vehicles would be parked under the bridge. All said and done, it would be one of the most difficult kind of rescue operations that you've got to undertake. I'm being told that the bodies of the victims and of the injured are being taken to Marwari Relief Society Hospital, which is in Amherst Street, about 15 minutes from this area, about 10 minutes from Girish Park, Vivekanand Road crossing. And the other problem that I'm being told is that people from around the area, from Vivekanand Road, Bidhan Sarani area, are all rushing towards this site, which will make rescue operations further more difficult because it's a very, very congested area, perhaps one of the most congested areas in the city. Last evening, when I was passing through that area, there is a lot of construction going on. They were doing up the flyover, so the construction was actually on. So, and it has been delayed eternity. I mean, you just said 9 deadlines missed. I've been hearing as a resident of that area, of that particular area, that it would be done by 2010, 2011. Every year the deadline keeps getting extended. There is no question that this tragedy will become very, very difficult to handle because of the nature, the topography of that area is such. Because if you turn right from the Girish Park crossing, gradually with the metro construction and with commute from both sides of the roads get very, very narrow. And this is absolute traditional North Kolkata, which is about 160, 170 years old under the British. So make no mistake, the army, the police, the rescue operation will find it extremely, extremely hard to pull it off.
This is literally an urban nightmare. Boria, stay on with us. We've got fresh visuals of that bridge collapse. As you can see, it's a busy street, lots of traffic, lots of cars, passers by, and the bridge comes and collapses on top of them. Boria, you're telling us you're familiar with the area. You don't live very far away from the place where this bridge has collapsed. Almost 100 meters of the bridge is what we're being told has collapsed. This is a busy market area. On any given point of time during the day, there will be hundreds and thousands of people, not just passers by, but hawkers who've set up shop under the flyover and also people who live there.
Absolutely, and it is not only during the day, it is also at night, because at night the traders come there. Bada Bazar is one of the most busy areas of the city where, it's the trade capital of Kolkata, if you can put it in terms of a locality. So lots of traders come at night also. So it is 24/7 round the clock busyness that you're trying to encounter. Both sides of the road, there are these old houses which go back hundreds of years. So it is impossible to get in modern equipment into that area to try out rescue operations. That makes it difficult. Your visuals tell a story. In fact, those visuals actually give a story that there is still some space for commute, but in reality there isn't. I mean, I can tell you there are vendors and hawkers on both sides of the road. People have encroached upon the road, so the roads have gotten further narrow, which is why there's no parking zone, which is why under the flyover people live. Women and families live, they cook there, they stay there, there's lots of people living cars and taxis and buses are all parked under the bridge. It is an absolute nightmare, Simi. There is no question. And from my place, it's about 8 to 10 minutes walk, this area. So anything that you want to do in North Kolkata, you've got to pass through this area because it's one of the most central hubs of North Kolkata, further north or further towards central Kolkata also, if you're coming from north towards central. It's a very, very difficult one at this point in time. Lots of my friends and colleagues are there trying to sort of see what's going on, and they tell me it's a security nightmare, it's a rescue nightmare going on at this point in time.
Security and rescue nightmare. Boria, thanks so much for that update. Fresh visuals actually show the extent of the tragedy. There are lots of cars passing by. It's a busy street, as Boria pointed out. If anyone is travelling from North Kolkata towards the central part of the city, this is a road that they would be crossing. It's an arterial road. The Bara Bazaar is a crowded market. There are narrow streets, but anyone passing from North Kolkata driving towards the center of the city would be crossing this road. As you can see, the bridge collapses over passers-by. Several cars are trapped under the debris. People who are attempting to run away after they heard the first sound of that of those cracks developing in the flyover, running away, but the debris lands on them. Indrajit Kundu is also with us live from the accident site. Indrajit, you're telling us that you've been watching rescue efforts for the last almost 4 hours now, and you've not seen a single person being brought out of the debris alive.
Well, Simi, that's right. It's 4 hours that I've been, at this site overseeing the rescue and relief operation since it began. And just a short while back, about 7 minutes back, for the first time I saw there was one person who was rescued from this debris. He was alive and he was immediately rushed. We'll be able to play those visuals in a short while from now. Hopefully, he was alive. And he was taken in a stretcher and he was rushed to the nearby hospital. This is the first person that I saw that I was able to manage to catch a glimpse of who was alive and rescued from the debris. And even as I speak, you can see that, the two cars which are now being exposed because the girders which are there at the front of this area, they are finally being removed. So you can see both the cars, out there. They are just underneath the iron structure, and there are about hundreds of army personnel now who are using both gas cutters as well as axes and other instruments to dig through that concrete and TMT wire mesh which is there. And they're trying to, figure out whether at all there is any person who is still strapped inside that debris. So a very critical rescue operation which is underneath at this point in time. And we were talking just a short while back about crowd control. It seems like as if there is some semblance of control as far as the crowd is concerned. The police have been able to barricade it because there is a reinforcement from the army that has come in right now. Therefore, the police and the Kolkata Traffic Police, because as Boria have been mentioning, since it's such a congested area, all the arterial roads which are leading to this area, most people from North Calcutta in and around, they're all rushing to this area to catch a glimpse of what's the situation on the ground. And send the central avenue towards which this flyover is supposed to take its route towards, that area is completely chock-a-block because of the traffic. So it's a nightmare for the Calcutta Traffic Police, in fact, to bring some amount of semblance of sanity as far as the Kolkata traffic in the northern and central part today is concerned.
Right. And Indrajit, have you managed to speak to officers on the ground? What are they saying? How long will this operation take? You also told us that the streets on both sides of this flyover were extremely narrow. Therefore, bringing in heavy machinery and equipment to remove these concrete slabs is going to be an uphill task.
Well, absolutely. I mean, both the roads, if I can ask my camera person to show, here where I'm standing here, you can see the tram line. So since it's a northern part of Calcutta, you have the trams which operate in this area, which is already congested. So obviously the tram movements are not taking place, and the tram lines, you know, the electrical wirings of the trams, that have also been given way. They have been torn apart because in order to make way for these huge JCB machines as well as these cranes to enter this area. Otherwise, because of the tram, you know, wires, they wouldn't have been able to come through. So both the loads on the other side of the road, if you can see, from the other side of the road, you have all these cranes as well as the firefighting equipment and other ambulances and other cars which are lined up on the other side. And on this side, you have you know, some of the cranes which is trying to pull out the iron structure. So the task and the challenge at this point in time, is to clear this passage between that side of the road and this side of the road, so that you know, there is free flow of movement on both the sides. From that side, the cars can come and you know, travel to this side. So there is a complete you know, barricade because of the debris between both sides of the road, and they are trying to make some amount of a passageway by removing the debris so that there is some sort of a flow and this road is opened up. But that, of course, is going to take some hours time before this entire passage is cleared.
Absolutely, and you know, Indrajit, we're playing out visuals of that that flyover collapse. This was an intersection that has now been blocked because of the debris. What are you picking up? Any reports from other parts of Kolkata? Has traffic all over the city been affected because of this flyover collapse? Also, the fact that you're telling us that tram traffic would be affected because the tram lines near Bada Bazar have been completely broken.
Well, absolutely. The tram wires, which are you know up, they're on the you know, various poles on which the tram lines are erected. Those tram lines have been given way because otherwise these trains would not have been able to make their way to this place in the very first place. So tram services have been disrupted on this route. You know, this entire Bada Bazar stretch and this Rabindra Sarani stretch, this area is completely jam-packed at this point in time. And adjacent to this you know, road is the Central Avenue, which is the most arterial road that connects North Kolkata with South Kolkata. And it is an uphill task for the Kolkata Traffic Police to maintain you know, free flow of movement of vehicles on that. That you know, at this point in time is also a big challenge because there are a lot of vehicles who are trying to fly towards this area. There are VIP movements which is taking place. The Chief Minister was here just a short while back, and you know, she's left, by the way. The Kolkata Police Commissioner, of course, was there. The senior officials of the army and other officers as well. The Chief Minister, of course, came here just a short while back. She did speak to the media, and she has announced an ex gratia of 5 lakh rupees for those of the death, and also 1 lakh rupees for those of who are injured. And she said that, you know, they would be provided free medical treatment in the hospitals where they have been admitted nearby. Back to you.
Like a compensation of 5 lakh rupees has been announced for the next of kin of those who've been killed in this tragedy. Indrajit, you told us that a lot of people are rushing to the bridge collapse site to find out what's really happening, A, on the ground, and B, to also find out about the well-being of their friends and family workers who work in the vicinity. Has the state administration put out any helpline numbers that that people who are worried about their friends and family can actually call on and to figure out what's happening on the ground?
Well, that's right. You know, a helpline number has been issued by the State Secretariat. It's 1070. Our viewers can call up and try and figure out whether they have, if at all they have anybody who was venturing out from this area, very congested area in North Kolkata. And Simi, also, since we are coming to you from one of the residences here, which is next to the flyover, and it's been about 2 hours since, you know, last 2 hours since we have been reporting here, and the electricity connection in this entire area has been, you know, disrupted. So electricity connection has been, you know, stopped for obvious reasons, because there are several electrical lines in this area which needs to be cleared. Because if I can ask my camera person to show, I'm standing at a balcony, and right next to it you have this huge pole, you know, lamp post, and you have so many wires. Bada Bazar is generally these are the kind of lamp posts that is quite ubiquitous as far as this area is concerned. You will see a lot of business establishments, small little shops, kirana shops, various you know, traders, and you will and there is absolute you know, the amount of construction that has taken place, it's quite unplanned. I mean, there is construction in the old buildings, there is extension of the old buildings. And a few years back, we have had a very bad fire tragedy in Bada Bazar, the Nandana market, in which several people had died. So this place is always vulnerable. And to have a design, a flyover design like this, which was almost entering, people's windows and balconies, was always calling for trouble. Many say that this was always on the offing. And now that their worst nightmares have come true, they're saying that at least now the government should pay heed and dismantle the rest of the structure and also penalize the organization, the companies which got the tender to build this. Of course, the state government is going to draw off a lot of flack, given the fact that the elections are just 3 days away. Bengal is going to vote in its first phase of elections.
All right, Indrajit reporting that electricity supply or power supply in this area has also been affected. Power supply has in fact been cut off because this place has lots of open wires too, which may have been cut open after that flyover collapse at about 12:30. Traffic along this route has also been blocked. Different parts of the city are witnessing a heavy traffic jam. We're going to keep coming back to Indrajit for the latest on this story. Now, after the flyover collapse, there's a blame game that we're seeing play out between the left and the TMC. The go-ahead for the flyover, remember, had been given under the left regime back in 2007. Over the last 9 years, the construction company has missed 8 deadlines. The left is now, the TMC is accusing the left of corruption. The left, meanwhile, has accused the TMC, accusing the TMC of taking money from the construction company. We're getting in a...
My name is Dr. K. Pandurangarao. I am working as a group head HR and administration.
Okay. Sir, tell me about the incident happening in Kolkata. Tell me about...
Right. This particular job is given by the government of Calcutta to us, and we are doing this work. And we already done almost 65-70% of the work is already over. Still the remaining 45% is supposed to complete, and still in the process. Nothing has happened. Today the girders were missed, it seems. Still is in the process. One girder is missed, then second one also fell. That's how the accident has taken place. It's nothing but a God's act. So far in these 27 years, we must have constructed a number of bridges. It never happened. We are also as a management, we are under shock, and we are just waiting for what's happening. And 2 of our engineers also just missed. We are also searching for that. And we have got all the sympathy with them. And whatever the better we are supposed to do it as a corporate sector, we will do our best. We are waiting. Pardon? So, still it is going on. It is under construction. It is not a constructed bridge. No traffic is there. Still it is under construction. So just one girder is missed. Because of that it happened. It's how it looks.
Sir, since how long this construction has been going on, sir?
It is going on since a few years. Since very few years.
So when was it
started almost April to Saturday? Okay. Must have. It's almost.
No, still actually the whole area of construction has not been handed over 100% to us. Whatever area has been given, that we are doing as per the availability, and still some portion is to be handed over because this is as you are seeing already, this is in a very congested area. So every time we have to get some area, we have to do from the piling. So the big machinery has to go and work. So after we get the clearance, then we have to do that work, and accordingly it is progressing.
What was the exact problem, sir?
No, exact problem is not known to us. It is as of now we are all in deep shock, and we do not have the details as of now. We are trying to get the details, but since all the site people are also not available, and we are trying to even find them. So a lot of people are involved in the accident, so we don't have the details sitting here.
So how many people were construction workers there at present at that moment? What information do you have from that point? How many workers were there?
30-40 people would be working. I do not know the exact number. That is just a guess.
Sir, is the company also making any announcements regarding the incident that happened, or maybe there is a contact?
No, it is actually the client who is already in control of the situation, and the government and the NRD and those people are in control. So we will be cooperating with the government agencies and doing whatever best possible we'll be doing. The project, usually all the projects have their own insurance issues and all that. So whatever is best possible we'll be doing for all the people involved. We are very deeply aggrieved. No, nothing like that, because see, as we have already told, this is the 60th span which is being done. Already 59 have been completed. It is not that we have just started and then there is a material problem or a procedure problem. Already more than 50% work has been done. About 70% plus work has been completed, and even this top slabs what we are doing, 60th slab we are doing today. So it is not due to any quality issue or any technical issue as we see as of now, right now. More data.
Do you think there was any flaw in the design of the bridge?
No, see, those things and all we have to go in detail, then only we can think of what can happen. Now we can think of anything. It can be design, it can be many other things.
No, but I'm saying, do you think whom are you, what is it, when you said that the grid, whatever it collapsed, that led to the collapse of bridge, do you think the person who will handle the charge of construction of the building, are they responsible for it? Or that there is a design flaw, are you accepting the responsibility for that?
No.
See, it is an act of God because out of the 70% we have completed, 69 spans without any problem it is completed. And each and everything which is going through a tough process of checking from the consultant, from clients, then KMDA, Calcutta Metropolitan Development Authority, they are checking and each and everything it is crossing. It is totally act of God. We are shocked to know that how it has instance has occurred after 70% of the work is completed. And this, after 16th span, this is a 70th span, it has happened like that. And even many of our employees are also in that. And presently we are in the state of shock to understand that kind of thing. And they are totally crowded and even our people do not have access to the exact incidents, whatever it has happened as of now. अभी lapses अभी तक हम लोग absolutely अभी 12 o'clock को हुआ अभी तक exactly we can't conclude anything.
Just think of something and yes, we have to find.
We'll get back.
Until unless we get the information from Calcutta, we are not in a position to talk anything on this. Please just.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah.
All right, those were representatives of the construction company talking to the press. They're saying that the pace of work has been slow because the state administration has not given them permission to take the work forward. Blame game, of course, also going on between the left and the TMC. Remember, the go-ahead for construction of this flyover was given back in 2007 when the West Bengal was under the left's rule. Of course, it's been 9 years and this construction company has missed 8 deadlines since.
Now, Pakistan captain Shahid Afridi might have landed himself in trouble yet again while speaking about fans in India. Asked about fans in Mohali before their match with New Zealand on Tuesday.
Go to different villages across India and actually stay there for a month and see the villagers, help them. And what it does is it opens your eyes to a whole new part of India that you never really saw before. So Amrita gives